Welcome to Liberebil. Welcome to a new video here on Liberebil of the probably the strangest modified car I've driven on this channel. Jody, how's it, bro?
How are you doing? Good morning, everyone.
How are you?
No complaints, no complaints. Good to have you in my car.
I've been excited for this car because this is a modified Opel Astra GTC 1.6 that pushes out over 240 kilowatt. Before I put my foot down, I'm going to ask Jody quickly to explain to me why on earth he dumped 10 billion rand into a GTC 1.6.
So, it's actually quite a long story. I always grew up, I think I told you my mom used to work for Delta Motor Corp. So, I grew up in the early 90s when I was like 5 years old. My mom bringing a different Opel home every second week, along with a Saab.
Yes.
Convertibles. I was like, wow. This is cool. So I think in subconsciously I've always just grew up loving an Opel.
Of course.
I've gone to Killarney a couple of times with my mom, obviously with her work. They had a racing team back in the 90s. Quite successful actually. So like that was just in my mind, like, oh, fast cars. I've never been one to enjoy like racing or burning out and doing that sort of things. And then fast forwarding a bit, 2015, 2016, I came back from Joburg. I left Joburg to come work back in Cape Town, and like after 3 months, obviously was now, bank statements had revenue, and I decided, okay, now I need to search for my own car. Like I need to go officially buy my first car that I can officially afford. And it actually took me about 3 months to decide what I want, what I really want. And I did some test drives of a couple of cars, and I always knew I never wanted a stock fast car, GTI, OPC, M3. Okay, M3 was out of my price range at that time, but I thought one day I'm driving back from work. It was a Saturday morning, I needed to go work on a Saturday. Driving on the N1 towards town, and I decided, okay, I'm taking this turn here, and I ended up at the Reeds at N1 City. So I pull in. I was driving my mom's car at the time. I pull in and I go around the bend, and I see this car standing there, but not for sale. It was literally standing like where you and I as a customer parked. So I pulled next to it, and I was like, wow. Got out, and I knew, okay, there's no for sale sign, but I really, something about this car stood out for me.
It's a gorgeous car.
I think it must have been the bump.
Yeah, it's a fat ass.
And I walked like where they sell the cars, and the salesman, I'll never forget it, Wilfred.
Let me pause you quickly, Jody. Let me just put you on pause for a quick second gear pull. Right guys, second gear 2000 RPM. Sorry, continue the conversation, Jody.
So this Wilfred gentleman, or the sales guy, comes to me and he says, what you looking for? I said, look, I want to buy a car. I'm not entirely sure what I want, but I know what I like. And I didn't mention a specific car to him. But I started mentioning like little things. I want something that's two-door, looks kind of sporty. So we were like in the range of like this car, Scirocco, Polo, etc. And he says, is there any car that you maybe have in mind? And I turned around and I said, that car is so nice. He says, this car came from George yesterday and it's for sale. And I was like, can I drive it? So we took it for a test drive. I came back, I said, this is the Saturday. I said to him, I'm coming to fix this car on Friday. Do what you need to do. If it's not ready Friday, I'm gonna go somewhere else and buy something else because my mind is made up. Like I want this car. He's like, no, but you must still get, your bank. I said, you do your thing. Monday I'm gonna get my bank to approve my finance. And Monday I phoned him, I said, it's done. When can I pick the car up? He's like, fetch it Friday. So they did the whole, setting the car up, etc. So I picked it up the Friday.
Nice. So that's the backstory to how you bought this Opel.
Yeah.
What I want to know is mods and how the hell did you get 240 plus kilowatt out of an engine that's not supposed to make as much power? Stock, this thing only makes like just over 120 kilowatt.
I started with a downpipe. I was like, I just want this car to sound, sound better. I went to ATM chip tuning. And I basically said, look, downpipe stage 1. So I didn't really know much about modifications. I actually went to them and I said, I want this car to sound better. I know exhaust, whatever the case may be. And we did the stage 1 with a downpipe. And 2 weeks later I went back to them. I said, no, I want to go full throttle on this thing. Like, what can I do? And we obviously went through like the normal basic bolt-ons, like intercooler, stage 1 pro, or maybe even stage 2. It literally went another month of doing like an intercooler, and I was like, I woke up one day, I was like, you know what? This was always my dream. Like, I always wanted to build a car. This was like 3 years after I got the car. I was like, okay, let me now go and let me just do this thing. And I went to Renata and Dave and I said, listen, I don't have a budget in my mind because I don't know how much the stuff is going to cost.
Not a little.
But I said to them, bigger turbo, etc, etc, etc. Now the funny thing is, we put a big turbo in. I think it was a GT25. I had it for about 6 months and I was like, I'm not happy, I want to go bigger. So we went bigger again. Race cams, methanol, all the bolt-on hardware you can think of. And then obviously I changed the look of the car. The car was standard cherry red. I got it sprayed by my buddy at Kevin's Coachworks. He owns Kevin's Coachworks in Stipland. They made it this 3-phase candy apple. RRR Styling did my mags for me, suspension. So yeah, that's it. So now we're sitting here with a 240 plus car.
What's funny is you can actually feel like the cam at idle through the car.
It took a lot of getting used to because I started the car after the cams. I'm like, whoa. I started the car and was like, bop, 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 bop. I was like, I phoned Damien. I'm like, there's something wrong with my car. He's like, what's going on? I'm like, this car's getting pop, pop, pop. He's like, that's the cam. And I'm like, oh. He says, give it some time, it'll warm up, it'll be fine.
I must say one thing about Damien. I'm not gonna shove like peanut butter up Damien's bum now. I'm not just saying this, but Damien is fucking talented when it comes to hand tuning a car. He helped my brother with his Lumina, and he literally hand tuned all the issues out of the car.
Yeah.
It was
it's very personal.
Yeah, very. It was fantastic.
So my again, I'm doing the same thing. When I went to ATM the first time, this is now 3-4 years ago. Renato, I'm not saying he knew nothing, but he basically knew nothing.
Yeah.
And from then till now, I'm like, I'm not. When I speak to Damien and Renato, it's almost the same person.
Yeah.
They know the same.
Very learned.
So that's quite impressive. I think this car took a long time to build.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Because we went through a COVID, so I ordered the cams and the bigger turbo at the start of COVID. This car stood for a year and a half.
Yo.
Waiting for ships to come in with this. It was crazy. So I literally had this car in the garage or at ATM for a year and a half.
But this is a car you'll never sell. It's a kind of almost like an heirloom.
Yeah. So a lot of people say like, why do you have 2 cars now? I'm like, my one car is my daily and this is my dream. Like obviously my other car is, if anyone had to choose, I'll probably choose that one. But this car has so much sentimental value to me. I mean, just buying the car was a massive journey to getting to a point where you can actually qualify to getting a car. So this is my...
Your story is really beautiful. I think what a lot of you guys can take out of this video is, it doesn't matter what type of car you buy and modify. For example, you guys can call out in the comments and go, why did you put so much money into a 1.6 liter? I think the fact of the matter is that you did it because you love the car. It's from a passion point of view. And that's what car enthusiasm is about. You know, you don't just need to buy an OPC and do mods on it. It's all about what you personally love. I love what you did here. It's your own personal touch and it's your own flavor that's put on this car. And it drives so nice.
Actually,
very original.
I think it's gonna sound so contradictory, but the best part of this car, even after all the mods, is when I drive to work and I just want to take it easy, and it feels like stock.
It does. But when you freaking hit I didn't remember if we done first gear yet. I'll see here now quickly if there's any police officers here around. I don't see anyone. It's probably gonna spin a little, but the way the boost come in is very progressive. You know, it doesn't break into boost, it actually swells into boost. Very nice feeling.
So,
what exhaust system?
VIE.
It sounds nice. Valve exhaust or
the valve, yeah. So
nice.
In the mornings, I close it. I don't want the neighbors to get
upset. But I mean, like barely any wheel spin yet. It's making proper power here. People are just driving past this robot.
I thought I missed something earlier.
I'm so confused.
But yeah, this car is it's a lot of fun. It gets a lot of attention on the roads. But again, I didn't do anything for that. Like a lot of my friends would comment on my like Instagram post and be like, more work done. And in my mind, I'm like, I know when I can officially put that tick against this car and say I'm finally done, is when I was going to be done. And every time I did something new, ATM would do something new, I would drive the car for a month or two and be like, I'm not happy with this, or I'm very happy with this. And I come to a point now where I'm like, there's nothing more I want to do. There's so much more I can do, but there's nothing more I want to do in this car. It's now officially green ticked.
I love what you've done. This thing sounds and goes like a stab. People's there running across the road here.
Taking risks.
Yo!
That's so much fun. That's so much fun.
I love how you've put your own flavor on this car. It's not a GTI, it's not a Type R. It's just got its own flavor and its own personality. You've done something really special here, and I can see why you ain't gonna sell this car. This car is not gonna go anywhere.
Not anytime soon. I think there will be a time where I'm like probably gonna cry one day. Someone's gonna offer me
stupid money
for this car, and I'll be like, I think in my mind I have a figure that I would like say, listen, I have now officially done what I want to do in terms of my childhood dream. And I probably would be open to selling it, but I'm gonna have some fun first.
The thing is, Jody, you actually own a 335 F30 as well, and that is no joke in itself. I mean, that car makes power so flipping easy.
I'm not doing any more mods in that car. And that's the difference, because this car is a 1600 front wheel manual, whereas the BM is rear wheel 3 liter automatic. It is completely different. The way you take your bends. I actually I have more faith in taking bends at speed with this car. It's because this car is quite heavy and got a big backside.
But this car's got a good chassis, you know. These cars did good numbers around the Nürburgring. The chassis were really well sorted. Yes, I'm just absolutely in love with this. This is fan-freaking-tastic. Jody, I must say thank you so much for this opportunity.
Thank you. It's a pleasure.
It's been an absolute
much.
pleasure, and yo, dude, this is something very unique and something you won't see in South Africa.
I hope not.
I don't think so. I mean, for you to have done this, I mean, the cams, the rev kit, the turbo,
Yeah.
you put so much into this specific build. For someone else to do this, it's impossible. I don't think anyone's as bad as you.
I won't tell anyone to do it. I'll say don't do it. Don't do it.
I don't think anyone's as bad as you. But yeah, I'm gonna say
Thank you.
I'm gonna say B3 BU and we both say Liberebil out. No?
Say again.
I'm gonna say B3 BU.
Yeah.
Then we both say Liberebil out.
Okay.
Guys, I'm gonna put Jody's social media on screen now and also in the description box below. You guys can follow him on his different social media platforms and check out his progress and future with his Opel Astra GTC and the story on this car, because I'm really impressed. I mean, this is probably one of the most different cars I've driven on this channel. Don't forget to subscribe, thumbs up, and share with friends and family. Be free, be you. Liberebil out. Sure.
I'm supposed to do that.
Yes, Joel.